Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Coffee, Sim News, and Talking Sim Racing. And I hope you're all having a good week so far. I need to throw out a few apologies. Number one, it's actually hard for me to turn my head to the right. So it's going to be hard for me to look at the camera much today because I actually have a pinched nerve like in my neck, another one under my shoulder blade, and my lower back is also in great pain. So it actually sitting in the rig is about the most excruciating thing I can do to myself, which really sucks. It's had me out of the rig for 5 days. It's made it hard for me to sit down at my editing station. I am just in all sorts of pain and difficulty. I can't even stretch. I'm in so much pain. Or so tight and bound up. So, apologies to you guys, because the impact is, Joe, yeah, I better keep it a short show, or I'm just gonna, like, right now, I mean, I just feel it right there, and we're just getting things started here. Now, with that said, I might be stepped away from sim racing, but that doesn't diminish my good mood. It is Friday, and what have I done? No bike. No, there was no incident. I think it was just that I've been working real hard for quite a while. I've been on a real run, working on a lot of different things, and I just think the too much time at the desk starts to really cause. I need to stretch more. I need to get out more. I need to get on my bike and bicycle more. All of those things will help a ton. Today's episode was filmed from the hospital. No. Luckily, we're not to there yet. Thank you, Dave Cam. Dave Cam, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy? So, yeah, no, what I need to do is I mean, I don't know how many where you guys are in your, lives. I'm 55 years old. I was highly athletic until I was 30, and then I stopped it. And I just feel like now I'm just paying the price. All those battle wounds, all those injuries from sports, all those things. It could be. So, one thing I know, because I didn't even mention that I have a senior citizen pit. F you, Brandon. The thumb. So I was changing bases, and I literally just grabbed, and these, direct drives, I'm pulling like my R16 off with one hand, and it's like a 20-pound base, and it, the shaft spins. Anyway, I tweaked something in my hand. So yeah, 55. I got to turn back the clock. And so it's not so much how or why I'm bound up as much as that I'm not doing preventative medicine, stretching, getting out on more walks, more jogs, more bicycle rides, even more motorcycle rides. Although I'm not sure that has as much benefit as a bicycle ride. Anyway, okay, I don't want to dwell on that, and I don't want to take too many rabbit holes today, at least not created by the Sean brain. You guys have rabbit holes, you guys have questions, comments, things in sim racing you want to talk about, please hit me up. I am here for that. I need to prevent myself from doing the Sean rabbit holes. Dennis, that's the thing. I want to be here in 21 years, but I want to be able to sit in my rig. Again, right now, as I'm sitting here, I cannot even drop my lower back into the seat. So anybody who has a fixed position seat like the Sparko, my lower back is not in contact with the seat at all right now. And if I try to spun the shaft too hard, yeah. Anyway, I can't even sit back. It's killing me. All right. It needs some TLC. Exactly, sim racers. At this point, we need to do a little restoration. We got to knock some rust off. We got to clean up some patches. We got to replace a few things, maybe. We don't want to do that. But we're going to have to get everything running in as good an order, considering its age, as we possibly can. All right. what's going on in the world of sim racing? Let's start with the sim pit. Amir Assad is on vacation, but Amir just cranked out a bunch of content between getting back to Germany and taking this vacation back in the States, visiting his daughter. So yeah, I wish I could just put in new bushings, Alterman. Wouldn't that be nice if we could just put in new bushings without it being like a big deal? So he put a new video out on triple screen, and I think I mentioned it last week, and the reason I'm mentioning it again is kind of a reminder to myself to test it out. So I have pretty good luck with my NVIDIA surround. So there's no reason or complaint on my end that would have me go to that end as far as gaming goes. It's the other side of the coin. Because my system's in surround, I'm not sure I can really get Windows working the way I like. I mean, I like being able to like make something full screen in the center. Doesn't always work out when I'm in surround, and I wonder if going to the non-surround, breaking the surround configuration, if it can operate in iRacing as well, and it betters my Windows environment, then it's certainly worth trying, even though I'm not one of the people who have issues with surround. So, excuse me. Take a little swig of coffee. Yeah, built-in massage. I've never been big on like the automated roller massage things. They've never done well for me. I think I need a real deal. I'm not sure the chair can do it. What I need to do is stretch. What I need to do is build up my core muscles so that can... Dan Christian, how are you doing that? I can't watch it for 2 more weeks. It's on hold till the 25th here in the States due to the writers' strike. And actors' strike, actually. Writers and actors' strike. So I would love to see that movie today. Me and Ken Eastap are going to go see it in 2 weeks. Had a knee replaced, Tommy John shoulder surgery, prostate surgery. You're almost new. Awesome. I'm glad it's worked out for you well. All right, so that's what's going on at the Sim Pit. Looking at iRacing, this is kind of cool. So we're now driving what is ultimately the historic version of Zandvoort. So Zandvoort has gone through changes. iRacing, as you can see in this photo, has a new scan of the latest, greatest version of Zandvoort. So this is going to be one of those rare opportunities in iRacing where we will have a retro, but a scan, not like going back to old era version of Zandvoort, and then we're going to have the brand spanking new up-to-speed version of the track as well, which is really, really cool. Billy, wouldn't that be awesome? I wish. I see that you do some bicycle riding. Congratulations, by the way. Skyline Red, a little promo for Sky. You guys seem to be really taking off. So, awesome work on the band effort there. And yeah, I've seen you've been doing some cycling. I have a buddy who will ride with me, but he's so much better than I am. It's kind of humiliating. I need to get out there. Joe offered me a rub and tug. Amir is here. How you doing, Amir? So yeah, it's really cool that we're gonna have both Zandvoort in old and new configuration. There are a handful of those, I think, like Daytona in iRacing already. I think there was something else I want to mention or talk about. Oh yeah, so a little tease here of the GTP class growing. So we already have the BMW and the Cadillac. Really cool cars. This is a car class I actually do enjoy quite a bit. The IMSA GTP cars are kinda like a wheelman car, and at the same time kinda like a high-tech downforce car. It's a nice balance between the two. In general, I prefer like looser rear-wheel drive, front engine, American car style cars that are fun to drive by my standards, because I like rear wheel steering. And although it might not be the optimal way to get around a track, and I'm not even a drifter, I'm not talking drifting even, it's a style of driving that is just me. I am a little rough around the edges, I guess. I felt that this GTP class really fell into that group, making it a very fun to drive car. And yet, when you can really dial it in, smooth it out just a little bit, you really start to see what it can really, really do. So I'm excited. Any speculation on your guys' part? Anybody know car shapes? What are we looking at? What are two GTP cars missing from this current lineup? And what do you think we might be looking at? Can we tell from the dimples? What do you guys think? So, only one more day left of vacation for poor Amir. He's got to get back to it. I guess the only time I get a rub is when I get a tug, so I just associate the two together. I am sorry. This was not butchering a name, but I do have to throw up the disclaimer for my behavior and my words. Porsche and Acura, Amir. I think that's a pretty good guess. Is Corvette out? And this, I mean, I'm looking at the nose, but then I look at the roofline. I'm like, there's no way that's a Corvette. Ferrari? Is there a Ferrari in the American GTP class? I have not. Actually, I have been to an Asian massage parlor, and it was totally legit, totally on the up and up. It was a massage. And I was annoyed because I told her in particular, my lower back, I think that was when I was fighting sciatica, and I'm like, hey, or no, I'm sorry, it was a shoulder. I was like, I am here because of my shoulder, and I need you to work. Like, if you did half your time on my shoulder, I'll be thrilled. Lady just, she probably didn't understand me. Anyway, she just head to toe like they do. So, all right, rFactor. rFactor does have some new skins and an update that is in the works. So, in their words, this was yesterday. Did someone ask for a fresh delivery of liveries? Delivery of liveries, delivery of livery, delivery of livery, delivery of livery, delivery of livery. This August, we're serving a platter of free updates to Legacy as well as more recent content, headlined by the addition of the Porsche Carrera Cup GB liveries as well as much more. So that we have that to look forward to for rFactor too. Now, this is something I must have missed and not mentioned. I don't know how. Assetto Corsa via Ferrari Esport keep having these challenges, and I guess I think I might have mentioned, but what I didn't notice is, like in the case of the one that's going on right now, and you only have 2 more days to enter, we have 2 TM Thrustmaster T818 Ferrari SF1000 simulator sim wheels to give away. Place a hot lap on AC Assetto Corsa for a chance to win. So apparently all you have to do is set a lap between August 7th and August 13th, and your Sean.exe malfunctioned. Delivery of livery. Delivery of livery. Joa, I love your guys' sarcasm. Are we not the most sarcastic group in all... Oh my god, that was not a good move. Are we not the most sarcastic group in all of sim racing? I think we are. I do dare to say that we are. Okay, so anyway, this is the SF1000 wheel. You can see the base in your face there. The base in your face, base in your face, base in your face, base in your face. All right, so anyway, I really like my review is in the works. It should be coming out over the weekend, and I apologize. It was supposed to come out yesterday. I have been really enjoying this wheelbase and this wheel rim. Say what you want, and haters, go ahead and hate. Jump on right now. Get it out of your system. Yep, I know. We're still using that stupid screw. It's still that clamp on that adapter. I'm happy with the way this works as a package. I would like them to improve upon this connector. But man, they only charge $350 for this wheel rim. This wheel rim is spectacular for $350. I don't even want to, I mean, like, again, haters are going to hate. You can say what you want. No, it's not a metal body like everybody else. Yes, it's only 10 Newton meters, and I say only very carefully there because, you know, whatever. Yeah, plastic, I understand. Yeah, plastic. It's got plastic. I like it. This wheel rim flexes less. When I did my initial test on the T818, I was using the TGT round rim, which has a lot more plastic in it. I was wondering about that, David S. I was wondering, I like this. I really like this rocker paddle push-pull system. I was thinking about and wondering about, they make the upgrade, and I'm like, well, yeah, but why? I'm really happy with this. I think it's, if you can describe the difference, I'd love to hear it. I thought the floppy paddles were quiet and fast. Okay. I thought these were a little generic. But you know, Thrustmaster made life really easy. And for those who are really and a lot of this will come out in the review, but you guys are here and we're talking about this today. If you're really into dialing in your own settings, so we could be talking about SimuCube, we could talk about Moza, SimMagic. If you're really into, like, okay, I like this kind of wheel speed, and I like this kind of damper, and I like this kind of friction, and, you know, then this is not the wheelbase for you. If you love to plug things in, have it work, and make one adjustment, being force feedback, the delivery of force feedback in this wheel is second to none, in my opinion. Now, for those who, again, really like to dial things in, are very, very, very particular, you're going to want all the settings that you don't get on this. However, it's an exceptionally good feeling wheel. Anyway, I am loving this combination. The wheel rim made the base better. And then, personally, I love Ferrari branding. You know, I think about Ferrari. They're one of the only companies in the world that set standards so high that are like, hey, you're Justin Bieber. Well, you trashed a Ferrari, you painted it incorrectly against our will. You'll never own another brand new Ferrari. We don't care if you're Justin Bieber. And I don't even think against Justin Bieber. There are a few examples. I could say Deadmau5 did the same thing. But I love that a car would have such strong principles. And I think that is one of the things that makes Ferrari so exceptional. So I love Ferrari. I think it's one, you know, anyway, I don't need to explain or defend why I love Ferrari. So I'll take Ferrari branding any day of the week. And is it worth the extra money? I don't know. You buy a Ferrari t-shirt, you paid $50 for that. So anyway, I do love this wheel. But for those who want the most techie thing out there, this is not the wheel for them. I need to add those words to the review. That is the difference. This is plug and play magic. That's what it really is. All right. Is that fair? Anybody want to argue me on my thoughts here? I mean, we really started this with the fact that you can win one. Go post some laps in the Ferrari Esports Series TM Thrustmaster in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Post a lap, and you'll be eligible to win this, and you're good to go. So, pretty cool. Speaking your language. I got to catch up on some chat. My chat is so far away with my 1440 resolution, you guys. Oh, we're still on massages. Yeah, it is such a cool wheel, JNZ. Bunch of guys in SimMagic Discord that should have went with Thrustmaster. Yeah, and that's exactly kind of the point that I think I'm trying to make. And I'm not trying to make a big separation because I think that this wheel's quality and feel is good enough for those who, even if you like being techie, sure, you'd like to be able to make some adjustments, you're not going to hate on the force feedback delivery. Anyone else have a T818 and know what I'm talking about? Does anybody else seriously know? Honda charges 50 for their t-shirt too. All right, maybe 40. But I really would love to hear some people. I have had this conversation with a handful of people who do own it. And I don't know what they did in their interpretation of the output to create their force feedback values and curves. That might have even been part of what took so long. David S., are you kidding me? Where'd you find this? Where'd you get this? I'm going to open this right now. Is this official? All right, so I'm going to call this unofficial, you guys, until I can be told otherwise. So that's pretty basic, though. So my big question on that potential wheel is back here, because all I'm asking for, I don't have a problem with plastic, you guys. Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of people should be. One of my arguments for fixed setup racing is sort of like, hey, why don't you just worry about you hitting your marks? Learn the idiosyncrasies of the car and the setup, and worry about what you're doing as a driver, and it might be more beneficial than working on setup for a lot of people. The bottom is official. So do you have an answer on the back? Because it's the adapter. I mean, this one worked out well. It was a real bitch to put on, by the way. That is probably when I hurt my friggin' thumb. No BS, you guys. That is probably when I hurt my thumb, was trying to tighten this collar down. And the amount of time my thumb's been jacked corresponds with that. It never hurt when I was doing it really badly. But, oh. No rabbit holes today. No rabbit holes whatsoever. We're on a straight track. All right. Plug and play is magic, man. Yep. I'm waiting for that. Also cool. Hopefully the next, I would assume. I mean, I think it's a fair assumption that if Thrustmaster is going to make a new steering wheel tomorrow, that it would be specifically built for this base. And I would also get ready for this. I have no word, no whatsoever. But I could only imagine that we're going to eventually see a T616 or a T1516, if you understand my math here. Joa. It'll jack your thumb, man. All right. Having fun. Thank you, guys. I love Friday mornings. I really do love Friday mornings with you guys. It's so much fun. I think that's it we had. Go try to win one, though. It's a badass wheel. I'd love for you guys to win one and trying it. I think that's it. I think everything else was just esport. Out of the Assetto Corsa camp. No, that's not entirely true. No. So they wanted to showcase some of their spectacular art that had gone on from their fans. So they did collect their favorites, or some of their favorites. And T1000, Rise of the Machines. So yeah, anyway, we have a lot of images and cool shots from Assetto Corsa in that thread post. Yeah, I feel bad. No, it's not that I'm rooting for it to flop, although maybe a teeny tiny bit. I just feel like they didn't let esport grow at a natural rate. And I think that when you do things like the Visa Vegas $1 million, event, right? and maybe everyone should have learned a little bit from that kind of thing. But it's like, when you do something so large that the advertisers and sponsors don't get anywhere near the return on investment of what it costs them to be there, then it makes it really difficult for them to want to renew for the second or third or fourth year. And so I feel like they filled the bucket so big for esport racing that it didn't have a sustainability. The other thing is, I feel like in a little bit of a cash grab greed fest as an overreaction to the popularity of sim racing during COVID, they took advantage of that moment to double fill the coffers, because all these companies are like, oh, look, Ferrari's even in on it now. Yes, we're in. But then when I look at the viewership numbers, and it can barely rival or exceed certain things that don't even have cash-paying events, I'm like, this can't sustain it when there are millions and millions and millions of dollars being dumped into it. We'll see. There's a side of me that hopes I'm right, and there's a side of me that hopes I'm wrong, being perfectly honest with you guys. So, I don't really want to be right on this, because I'd really like them to balance it out. That's what would be optimal. Instead of letting it implode, which is what greed will usually do, I need them to all to kind of come to reality and set things, like I feel like the iRacing World Championship has grown somewhat organically. And if you look over the years, the prize money has gone up quite significantly, but it's kind of done it based on success and building upon small success and building upon a little bit of growth and more success. And you build it up, and then it's very sustainable. But when you just start putting huge money on things and, restricted invite lists, and you've taken away the fair competition to get there, it becomes very artificial and therefore should pop. I think, poor Gregor Hutu. Gregor Hutu, you got to think about, like, how much money did Babe Ruth make on baseball? Because, like, I'll give you a great example. There is a Carmelo Anthony commercial for Tequila 1800 going. And I'm like, man, how many people lost their shirt on, like, buying Carmelo Anthony, like, rookie cards and jerseys and whatnot? And it's like, he ended up just being another guy. Exceptional, sure. But at the same time, was he? And I'm like, on a scale of society, the amount of money Carmelo Anthony made off of basketball compared to what Babe Ruth made off of baseball, it's such a crying shame. And Gregor Hutu is exactly that. Gregor Hutu is the Babe Ruth of sim racing, who in his entire career, I don't know, did Gregor make more than $50,000 total in sim racing? Did he make 100 maybe? I don't know, but there are guys who have eclipsed that in 2-3 seasons of running in top esport, and they're just another name of 30-40. Gregor Hutu is Babe Ruth. So, all right. So fan art, you'll find it through the Assetto Corsa. Do I have to stop calling it Twitter? The Assetto Corsa X page. That doesn't work for me. Twitter worked. As stupid as Twitter was as a name, it worked. Go to the Assetto Corsa X page. All right, Race Room. I think that's where we are. Race Room has their Beat the Pro competition. Billy, do you remember a long time ago when you and I were talking about, I hope I got it right, my memory, we talked about how all these esport events were for only the elite, and there wasn't a whole lot of action going on for, like, just, everyday sim racers. and the purses were large enough to draw all the pros, and none of us had a fighting chance. And it's like, so I always thought, oh yeah, I totally agree. I think iRacing's done a good job with their, like, you know, Rick Motec and Sim Magic and those companies sponsoring things that obviously the aliens aren't going to show up for those competitions. Anyway, I saw this one and I'm like, oh, look, check this out. This is awesome. Race Room, DTM, beat the pro. Usually sim racers can beat the pro, and you can win some DTM tickets. And I'm like, that's really cool. So then I pulled it up. Wait, oh, that's different. And I looked at the leaderboard, and number one on the board was Moritz Lohner. And I'm like, wait, he's like one of the fastest drivers in the world. What the hell? Moritz Lohner could pick up the phone and get tickets to this event. And he just took one of four of them. Julian Kuntz, number third. I'm sorry, Leonard Krippner, I don't know your name. But I literally, and Daniel Burka, I don't think I know your name, but I know the names of two of the top four in this competition. Where's Jack Keatley? Why isn't he winning a set of tickets? Anyway, all right. So not likely you're gonna win a set of tickets there. 1 million barely cost the covers of a SimuCube pedal upgrade. Another event going on, and probably not likely obtainable by many of you, or me, for that matter. But the top 40 drivers will advance to a competition. This is Prodigy Racing League. Excuse me. Going on September 3rd. Start date August 21st. End date September 3rd. Excuse me. Time attack, single driver, fixed setup. Top 40 based on fastest lap who are registered by stage 1. End date time will advance to the semifinals. All this does lead up to an opportunity to win a ride in a Prodigy race car. Real deal. So, could be a cool event. All right, what else? Rensport. The Praga R1. That's a cool car. New circuit. Ada Beta. What's Ada? Anybody know? Updated curb audio. Updated M4 over the curbs. I never thought of that. I am broken today. Version 1 damage model, improved tire rotation animation, improved cut detection. I guess you guys could read. I don't have to call them out. Yeah, I agree, Billy. I agree. Is it because of the pedals, Joe? I mean, because of the Sim Magic? Is that a Sim Magic thing? Anyway, new cars, 8 new tracks? Or is that 8 for 8 beta? Anyway, I have yet. Amir is in on the beta, so we'll be waiting on some words and information from Amir as things progress there. EA F123 is getting another patch on all platforms, so there are some patch notes. I'm not going to go to them, but if you want to read them, they are available through the EA Sports F1 X page. Is that how now it's cool, right? X page. That's what you have to do. The SimPit X page. We're on X. All right. What else? So I don't really like to cover esport very much on this show because there's plenty of places for you to do it. Gran Turismo, for some reason, does hold a special place in my heart when it comes to esport. And the reason is, well, it's not just the movie. The movie is a result of the other side of it. So when you're talking about Jan Martinborough, Lucas Ordonez, Brian Heitkotter, to name a few, their sim racing competition led to an in-person challenge, which was both sim, real life, and physical challenge, those three things, to declare a winner that would be given a real pro contract. That pro contract, in all of those cases, was worth far more than any cash equivalent. It was racing careers that, in all three of those cases, go on to this very day. That, to me, is exceptional justification, exceptionally appropriate, proper prize for sim racing's top competition. Anyway, so the latest greatest, this year's version, is getting underway, or actually is underway. And there is the big trophy for the manufacturers. I think the World Series and the Manufacturers Cup are their format. And anyway, so at the Gran Turismo page, we do have some of the build up for that that's going on, starting right now, actually, I believe. Okay, so I'm a little confused because I didn't read in great detail, but what I think we're starting to see are some of the ribbons, some of the track layouts of tracks. We're starting to see some of the car lists of the latest, greatest upcoming Forza Motorsport. So, for example, Road America, we're looking at here. They got a shot here of the new Audi RS3 sedan. October 10th is our date for the game. Eagle Rock Speedway. We have a list of cars here. The starred ones here in yellow are new to Forza Motorsport. So the new Nissan Z, the Audi RS we just saw, the Lexus RC, Toyota GR Supra, Z4 Roadster, 370 Nismo, Audi TT, Alpine. Lots of cars. Yeah, Eagle Rock is their oval. Same car list, right? Yeah, Nissan Z. That's Eagle Rock again. We already knew that car was in there. All right, some other new ones. Koenigsegg, Agera. The Neo EP9. What is a Neo EP9? Do I have to look that one up? Neo EP9. Not a lot of cars I haven't heard of in the world. So that's what we're looking at there. No VR, no buy, huh? So that's the car. What else do they have going on? Kyalami, Silverstone. So yeah, if you guys are bored sitting at work, you're bored sitting at home, if you go to the Forza Motorsport X page, you'll be able to check out some of they have a lot of stuff that's come out this week as far as screenshots and lists of things. A list of officially supported wheels. No, we have yet to see that, but we did hear one video about their ground up force feedback and wheel compatibility, didn't we? They didn't name any wheels, but I do believe that they have made us hopeful once again. Is that fair? Electric cars. Where are you guys on electric cars right now? I mean, for real. Where are you guys on electric cars? And I want to divide this conversation and question into two sides. Civilian, pedestrian, driving around on public roads, city streets. And then what about racing, though? God, it's really hard for me, Joa on fire. Elon Musk is going to buy Xbox so that he owns all of the X's of the world. I believe that includes Deadpool's gang, right? X-Men, X-Force. The electric cars in the scenario of racetrack, I don't like the way they sound. I'm not even sure I 100% like the way they drive. But, man, they are so much better than a gas engine car. And the reason I say that is you could argue right now that they're better, questionably better. Electric cars are like brand freaking new. Give electric cars like 3 more years and it will be a undebatable question. Like, I think people used to argue like what was better, IndyCar or Formula One, 25 years ago. That argument might have been made, and it's like now it's like you can't even make the argument, right? And so I just feel like electric cars are so amazing in what they can do, but it doesn't change the fact that, it's not just the sound. It's the smell. I don't like the smell of electric motors running hot. It's a gross smell. And anyone who has had an electric car, C-cars, totally knows what I'm talking about. I guess rubber smell would still be, prevalent. But, yeah, I like the smell of burning fuel. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'm still such a mixed bag of feelings on electric cars, both on the road and in racing. Yeah, it's not quite as exciting to build an engine, is it? All right, little bit of news or word out of BeamNG. It actually been quite some time. It was the last update to BeamNG was the big dirt update that they had done. So anyway, a nice article write-up if you want to really know the ins and outs and workings of BeamNG. Their latest update is going to involve doors, trunks, and hoods, the latch audio system. So what does it sound like when a door opens and shuts or gets torn off of a vehicle? So anyway, a write-up of them. I love that they're being open, showing you guys how it works. I think that's one of the beauties of BeamNG, is that it's such an open sim. There really are very, very few secrets about BeamNG for the people who want to be content creators or get the most out of the sim. It's all out there in the open. And it's not an open source game, but they almost take an open source approach to the game, which is awesome. So anyway, cool to see them going a whole nother level there. I need taps. I need taps at the ready. I need a button for taps. Okay, you know where I'm going with that, right? The Magic M10. How many years ago? 2018. 2018 is when Magic busted into sim racing with the M10. And at the time, it was an absolutely affordable direct drive wheel. And it was the first salvo out of China that they were going to disrupt the forces. They were going to disrupt the norm. They were going to break up the big three. The big three for decades being Logitech, Thrustmaster, and Fnatic. Decades, you guys. And China was coming, and they were going to come in strong, and they were going to really shake things up. And it was Magic with the M10 in 2018 that really started. I don't want to call it a war, because it's really been a benefit to all of sim racing and to all of sim racers, I do feel. Anyway, they are retiring support for the M10 base. So, if you have an operational M10, you might want to hawk it real quick. No, I'm kidding. They are offering $150 off if you own an M10. You're no longer going to have support, so whatever firmware, whatever software you're running, and if you own an M10 and you're going to hang on to it, that's fine. You probably won't be able to do much upgrading, but here's what I'm going to tell you to do right now. Get a copy of that latest software and anything that has it as current as it's going to be, and put it on a thumb drive and write SimMagic software, and don't let go of it. Because should you ever format your computer, or something go wrong with your settings or whatever, you are going to want to have it if you're going to hang on to your M10 and run it. So, yeah. But they are discontinuing support officially for the M10. So, they have the Alpha series, 3 new bases, the Alpha Mini, the Alpha Alpha, and the Alpha Extreme, or Ultimate, I should say. And they're all great bases at very affordable prices. I've been very, very pleased with SimMagic's offerings. And it's kind of a sad day. It's a sad day. I noticed Moza hasn't been as forthcoming with their lack of support, but I have noticed that there are a handful of V1 products from Moza that at this point, if you own, basically they're not going to be upgradable. Some of the software may or may not even boink your equipment, and you might want to just do the same thing. Find the latest version of the software that you know it is. Maybe even write a little INI file and put it with the thing, reminding yourself of what version it should say or be. But I know this has happened in the past with other companies, other products, and having last official version of the is very important for those who hold on. So, yep. Version 1, Ken. V2 stuff is all good, and some of the newer V1 stuff is even good, but oh yeah, John would double down. All right, he's already in a Cadillac EV, and he would go one step further. This was my reminder, and this is actually a shot of Ricmotech event series. So Ricmotech, if you're a company that builds quality rigs like Ricmotech, companies are going to call you and find out if you can supply 2, 3, 4, 10 rigs for various different events. It could be a trade show, it could be a party, it could be so many different things, but that's something they're known for doing. When I was at SubiFest, one of the reasons was Ricmotech had 4 simulators there running Subaru Rallycross during the event. There's Frank showing a lady how to drive, and or helping her drive better. So anyway, the reason I'm saying this and bringing this up is Hot Lap Hump Day will be this coming Wednesday. That should be the 3rd Wednesday of the month by my count. So get ready for this month's edition of Ricmotech Hot Lap Hump Day. Unknown car, unknown track. Winner gets a golden ticket to the December event and their chance to win $500 in Ricmotech gear. So there you go. Oh, I thought this was cool. So, speaking of Gran Turismo, the movie, Next Level Racing did a little promo with this event screening. DJ? They showed up with a bunch of their fold-up rigs, I notice. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, but that was them showing up for a Gran Turismo screening with Sony Pictures Australia. Sim noob. Does anyone have that answer? Does anybody know when Thrustmaster is gonna do a direct drive wheel? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, forgive the sarcasm. Right here, baby. T818 is a direct drive steering wheel from Thrustmaster. It doesn't look like the same shape as all the other wheels out there in the market, but it is indeed a direct drive steering wheel putting out 10 Newton meters power. Costs you $649 for the standard base. The only difference with this beautiful red one is it has wheel rim. Sim noob. Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive my sarcasm. We don't know, but we speculate that this is the first one. I don't have any official word. This bottom one is a picture that supposedly Thrustmaster has played with, and we don't have any confirmation that it has the quick release, the updated, quick release. And SimNoob, that is my biggest complaint of this system. Even though I'm using the SF1000 wheel rim, which is way stiffer, and their adapter works better on this one than it did on the TGT wheel rim. But it does still have more flex. And I think even with a better one, I mean, I don't know if this quick release works really well. And if you're judging it purely by leverage, I don't think that this is ever going to be as strong as an NRG or a Q1R or any of those. It just won't. It's just, I think, and it's even if that was perfectly done to the wheel, it's still going to flex more than those that I just named. With that said, I don't do this to my rim except for the moment that I'm filming on camera. That's something I actually try not to do. I can put my GSI on my Simu Cube with not really a quick release. It's almost a locked connection, right? And I still don't do that. Why? Because it's not the kind of force that even if your wheel's strong enough to take it, that you should do it to it. It's not the intended direction. Even the bearing inside is taking load. So, honestly, with the SF1000 rim, it minimized the flex to the point where I'm like, wow, outside of doing this, I have no complaint whatsoever about the amount of flex in the quick release system itself at all. And the SF wheel is really strong. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 millimeter carbon. It's super thick, strong. So, all right, we are to the end of the news portion of the show, I should say, which means I'm giving you guys just a little bit of time. If you have any other questions, and SimNoob, I'm sorry for my sarcasm. I totally feel like I was calling you out when what an a-hole thing to do. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it was at least funny. But yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not what you're supposed to do. Same thing. I mean, if you go out in your car tomorrow and you go like this across the top, it literally will flex. David S., I am not seeing anything else from you. Oh, is that the... Nope, that's old. David, I'm not seeing another post from you on Discord. So anyway, we are getting to the point. I'm going to move into the sim racing league stuff. We're going to move into sim rigs and things like that. So if you have any questions of me, anything you want to bring up with the community, any of that kind of stuff, now would be the time. Okay, so yeah, so Traxon, David S., thank you so much. You guys, the pit crew, coming through. Xavier Pichot, marketing manager, explained to Traxion that there would be a new range of editions would have the fresh quick release system installed, first introduced with the T818 BG89i. We have a new wheel in 2023, so it looks like before the end of the year, we're looking at having one of those wheels. So you'll need to have the new quick release system installed. You'll have an adapter. But it looks like the new wheels are going to do the opposite, and they will be able to have a reverse compatibility adapter. So this adapter, the screw-on for the SF1000, this is a forward compatibility adapter, right? It's taking the old style screw type quick release from Thrustmaster, making it forward compatible to their new quick release system. Which, why am I being stupid? I love this quick release, by the way, because even if you're like, oh, I'm just doing it poorly as can be because I'm not. Anyway, normally it works a little easier than that. But that took the old wheel onto the new quick release system. And it seems like the new wheels, which are going to have the new quick release system built onto the wheel, are going to have a reverse compatibility, making the new rims available to the old bases. I think I explained that circularly 3 times over. You should probably get it by now. Very cool. And we are looking at a new rim as soon as by the end of this year, which is outstanding. That's awesome. David S., thank you so much for having my back on that. All right, in the SimPit Oval series, the boys in blue. No, the Oval guys. Where were you guys? You guys were at Lucas Oil Raceway, aka IRP. And it was the AI taking over the world. We've been warned, you guys. Here they come. I mean, in fact, the only guy to survive and post a top 5 finish is Calix Whitesole. Only guy. Only human being to finish in the top 5 even. Donald Warren was the second place human with David Clymer coming in third. So it sounds like a very, very rough outing at IRP. I'm going to stack them all back to back to back. Anyway, this week, this Monday, they will be at Talladega for the second to the last race of the season. Caitlin, well played. Wheels are indeed... That one wasn't. That's not a circular wheel. In the SimPit Rally series, check out the Datsuns. Datsun 240Zs making it. Must have been a retro day. They're at Ribadele Comienzo. PS4 Deadman winning the event. David S. in second. GT99 coming in at third. And with only, that was it. That was the last event of the season. So these are the final points. David S. is here. David S. Everyone bow down. And then congratulate. And then cheer for David S., who has won another SimPit Rally Championship. Great job by him. ICH Motorsport coming in second place. GT99 LV coming in third. Great job by those guys. Great attendance for the SimPit Rally series, and I'm real proud to be a part of it and have the SimPit name on it. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody who took part in it. All right, let's check out some of your guys' rigs. This is far cooler. I love looking at your guys' rigs, and we have a post your rig section on our Discord channel. Get in there, post your rigs. I'll make you and your rig the star of the show. Today, we are looking at Tiago Weilman, and I know you guys have raced with Tiago. Here is it's an evolution of his rig. So this is where it all started for him, all right? That's stage 1. And I'm sure a lot of you guys will be able to appreciate. There's stage 2, dedicated rig, under the desk. Heiko doesn't bow. He knows. Now we've upgraded our wheel. Getting serious, Tiago. Oh, getting even more. We're up to triples. We're not messing around anymore. And then finally, that's where he's at now, which, that's a pretty styling rig. Gotta like it. Gotta love it. Looks like he's gone to a full profile. P1 style, we'll call it, rig. Simucube base. Looking super pro at this point. Nice rig, Tiago. All right, Terry Crouch has this new dash, and he was just talking about all the information. It's like more than some TVs even supply. Look at this dash, the dash he's got. And I'm looking at this picture, I'm like, Terry, are you here? I don't know if Terry's here today. Are you now obstructing your view? What is this blocking out of your car? Anyway, brilliant looking display though, that grid display. All right, now we're gonna look at some rigs on on the sim rig section of Reddit. And if, again, any questions, anything you guys need of me, because we'll be done with the show at the end of this. We made it to the hour mark. Look at that. He knows. We all respect David. He's the master in the dirt. Is this a good deal for 400? Looks like a T300 with a nice Ferrari rim. Some TLC. Yeah, that's a TLCM pedals. And a rig? Hell yeah, it's worth 400 bucks. Skier? You skier? Yeah, didn't Terry say his rig was done? You're right. You're right there. Before and after, going from a Thrustmaster T to a Moza. That looks like an R5 to me. Yeah, it's the R5 wheel rim. I know my Moza. I know my Moza. Mike Sim Racing Den gets in. Oh, Mike, we're going to preempt the show right now. Mike Sim Racing Den just posted this. Oh, look at your Porsches. The first thing that I saw, by the way, were your Porsches. Very cool. Oh, you've got the same. Samesies. That is a spectacular dash. Look at this rig. You are dialed in, my friend. I see you have an SF1000 wheel rim right there. I see it. You want to know, I will be honest with you guys. Want to know a real big disappointment with this wheel rim? So this dash is really cool. It's got different modes, and then even different modes have different pages. All right, so you do that with this one, then that one, and then it has backlit and blacklit, dark and night mode, right? With that pressing in, and this brings up secondary information. This button here, unfortunately, the Ferrari, which does turn, so unlike the original Ferrari wheel from them, it doesn't do anything. I understand in Xbox games, this does something with the display. There is one page for like UDP and internet signaling and whatnot that you can actually get to, that this will turn that on and off and make like brightness of your display adjustment. Other than that, nothing. And then this switch, which is the only thing on the wheel that actually looks cheap to me, is this little single. You guys are getting such an advance of the review. The only thing on this whole rim that looks cheap to me is this switch, which actually turns the display on and off. And honestly, I would have liked to have seen that as like maybe just a button back there. I don't know. Sim Racing Den. We just looked at your stuff here. I'm going to bring up your second photo. J, somebody with the first letter J just posted. And my Discord is doing that weird name thing, so I don't get to see your stuff, your name. Anyway, another shot of the sim room. That's a nice sim room you've got there. I like that very much, Mike. Where are you? Where do you race out of, Mike? The Sim Racing Den. Is that what you call this room? Oh, look, you've got your first win. Did you know we spy on your photos? This is the limit. My limit is a little bit further than others. I love it. That was by Ayrton Senna, by the way. First win in iRacing. There it is for Mike. And yeah, loving your setup. Loving it very much. All right, Jay's setup. Here we go. This was just posted. Look at the dash. I love it. Toronto, Canada. Awesome. Awesome. Really like this dash very much. This looks almost like something I've built before. I love your button box. Jay, who are you? Are you here? I hope you're still here. I'd love to know who you are. Brandon on fire today. with some edgy humor. Look at that. Heiko, are you checking this out? This is Heiko's buddy. Jay Topo, the legendary sim racer. Thanks for your picks, buddy. Look at this. The vice grip as part of the rig. Awesome. We have all been there. I love your spirit. I love your spirit animal, man. I really do. Exceptional. All right, like I say, you guys post your rigs in the post your rig section in our Discord channel, and I love bringing those rigs to the show. And thank you for the additions today, both Jay and Mike. All right. Jay, Mike, and our original poster in that channel being Tiago, and don't forget about Terry and his now finished rig. Now finished. Terry. Is it finished, Terry? Junkyard seat. Gotta love junkyard seats. Wall toilet rig. Huh? I don't know what that means. Oh, I get it. Jay, actually, hold on. I want to... So we don't really get to see any of your adaptations, do we? Okay, that's okay. No giveaways. There's no way you would recognize there was anything on that rig different, huh? Yeah, you carry the welder down there. Nice looking rig. Oh, that's like Fnatic software now, maybe, huh? It looks like a Fnatic setup. All right, I was hoping for some more DIY stuff. Here's a nice rig. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, you are. I haven't seen a sim experience in quite a while. There's one. Anyone? Brandon? Well, you guys, I think I might be all tapped out. But it's been fun. I've enjoyed myself. Despite my back and shoulder and neck, I feel pretty decent. So I think my mood has kind of helped things out a little bit. I want to thank you all for that. I want to thank you all for being part of today's show. Like I said, this is the perfect way to start off a Friday for me. It usually gets me just in the right spirit of things, kicks off the weekend in a great way. I love to feature what's going on in sim racing because it's when we really get to see how many great things are going on in sim racing. You know, I know we do our share of pointing fingers and poking fun and even questioning things at times, but the real thing here and the whole point of the show, even in our worst moments, is our enthusiasm and our love for sim racing. And I want to thank you guys, because if you're here hanging out with me talking about it, then it means as much to you as it does to me. And that camaraderie, that friendship, that having guys who understand this weird, obsessive hobby that we have, that's so hard to explain to people that don't get. I want to thank you for being my support group on that, because it is weird and we are odd, but at least we have comfort in numbers. Awesome, Joa, I can't wait. Plus, we'll get to go do some other things while you're here, so that'll be good. Always wanted to share a beer with you, Joa. That is going to do it for today's show. I want to thank you, like I have been. Thank you for being here, for being part of it. And, of course, I will be here next Friday for the next one. Get out here on Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. That'll be Wednesday at 3 o'clock for Rick Motec Hot Lap Hump Day. Monday night will be the next oval race. Only 2 to go in the series. Get into our Discord channel to find out when our road series is going to get back under action, when our rally series might get back under action, and maybe even when some of our Assetto Corsa racing might get back in action. We're kind of in our little bit of a summer off season, having fun races on iRacing on Sundays, every other Sunday. If you want to find out about that, that's in our Discord. I know most of you are out there when I just want to give everyone an opportunity to know. The link to our Discord channel is in the description of the show. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of it. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.